I'm Les Lenkowsky, and was the Director of Research of the Smith-Richardson Foundation from 1976 through 1983. And I think the simplest answer to what impact my work with Randy had on me is I began knowing nothing about philanthropy. I learned a great deal from Randy, so much so that I built a 40-year career in philanthropy in one way or another, and am currently a professor of philanthropy at Indiana University, something that, by the way, would have amused Randy to think such professors existed. I have lots of stories about Randy. One, I guess, that would be revealing, which piggybacks on Rod's very moving tribute to his father, and Midge Decter also mentioned the trip to Bonn. Randy never went on site visits with the staff of the foundation, but we had to go to this conference in Bonn, which was a grantee, and for reasons I didn't fully understand, Randy wanted to go with me. So we went, and sat through the conference, and it was a little fun as well, as you heard. But then we flew into Berlin to visit a couple of people we were working with. The wall was still up. This was 1982 or 83. The wall was still up. We did a lot of walking along the wall. And then we came to Checkpoint Charlie. That was one of the passageways into East Berlin. And Randy and I went up, and we were told that the policy of the East German government was to require visitors to convert some of their currency into East German currency, which of course was worthless anywhere else besides East Germany. At that point, Randy said, "I'm not going to do this." And we continued our walking on the western side. Now, the reason I say this is I agree completely with Rod and others that Randy didn't talk very much about his war experiences, but they left a profound effect. I can't recall all the details, but as we were going through Germany, Randy would talk about being shot at by teenagers and things like that during the Second World War. I can't say for sure that this was the first time he ever visited Germany after World War II, but I wouldn't be surprised. And it was a very moving visit for him, and therefore for me. So anyway, one of my first meetings in 1976, after becoming research director of the Smith-Richardson Foundation, was with a then editorial writer for the Wall Street Journal named Jude Winniski. We'd received a note from Irving Kristol, who frequently sent us people, saying that we ought to meet with Winniski. He is, and this was Irving's word, pregnant with an idea, unquote. And boy, he was pregnant with an idea, and in deep heat, you might say. And what was the idea? He wanted to write a book to be entitled The Way the World Works. And the question was, we knew he had a very interesting idea. He was obviously a very passionate individual. But when you do foundation work, what you need to do is set people up in situations where they could really do the work they want to do and that you're going to be funding. So we talked it over, and I don't know whether it was Randy's idea or my idea. Usually these things were both of us. We said, let's call the American Enterprise Institute and ask them if they were interested in a grant to create a resident journalist program. The only condition would be their first resident journalist would be Jude Winniski. And AEI was very interested in that. We made the grant. Jude went down there, where among other people, there are a glittering cast of people, including Antonin Scalia, Robert Bork, and others. And the book he wrote kicked off what is now called supply-side economics. That was the first big book.